Yeah, what's up, y'all? I said I had to. I said I was watching. Somebody had said something about conspiracy theories, and yeah, the conspiracy theory rabbit hole. Yeah, it runs real deep. So we gotta watch some of these. We gotta check some of these out, just so because sometimes you be going into these rabbit holes and it be like you losing your mind. Cause it's like some of them you understand and you get, and like you get it. It's like, oh, I get this, I understand this, and then you got other ones you just be like, man, I'm kind of lost, but I ain't. I still want to get it, but it's like something is telling me I shouldn't believe this. So that's what we're about to do. We're about to dive into some of the wildest conspiracy theories. Give me a minute. I'm trying to get my thumbnail popping on right. Oh dang. Okay, should be this one. Okay. Well, maybe I should have changed. I should have did my what's the name all over. Nope, 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 nope. We about to just go right in. Maybe I should, huh? What's up with it, Awoke? Yeah, here we go, bro. We about to we about to dive into some of these. Can you hear me, Swell? Is my voice coming out pretty good? We're about to go into some of these conspiracy theories. Cause I don't know. You know, when you look at the world as being a matrix, it's like anything can happen. You don't know what it is, what it might be, or you can't tell what is real from what is fake these days. And people are believing anything. Even me at times. I got my own beliefs, but let's go.
What's a conspiracy theory that absolutely blows your mind?
Not exactly sure if this is conspiracy theory, but I read this about 6 months ago. What if when we die, the light at the end of the tunnel is a light to another hospital room? There we are born, and the only reason you come out crying is because you remember everything from your past life, and you're crying at the fact that you died and lost everything. As you grow and start to forget your past life, and you focus on the life you have now, but patches of memory stay behind, and that memory causes deja vu.
No. 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 What's up with it, Shiva? No, bro. Like that would be crazy. Like that's why they be. You remember on I forgot the one movie, Lead Them to the Light, Carol Ann, the little lady. But that would be wild though. Like when you go out this, you go to the light, and then it just be you right back coming out, and they just erase your memory and all that. That would be wild.
What's a conspiracy theory that absolutely blows your mind?
Just that they stopped teaching kids cursive so they wouldn't be able to read the Constitution and their rights. If you know, you know.
I don't know about that one. I know I was watching videos of kids that didn't know how to read cursive, and I was like, dang, I'm glad all my kids know how to write cursive. And even down to the 13-year-old. You got to teach them that yourself.
I consider myself a conspiracy theorist, and if you like a good conspiracy theory and going down a rabbit hole and investigating, one that you need to go down that will flip your world upside down is Hitler and World War II. Look at all the history. Look below the surface of the history. Ask yourself why constantly through it. Look at all the information out there. It will flip your world upside down because you will start questioning everything, everywhere around you. Everything we've been taught, everything we've been told. If you don't want to become awakened, don't go down that rabbit hole. But if you want to see what really is going on in this world, go down that rabbit hole and check it out. Do some deep digging, and it'll, like I said, it'll flip your world upside down. Just saying. Y'all like and follow.
Man, I'm not diving.
I consider myself.
I'm gonna tell you why I'm not diving down the Hitler rabbit hole, because I just was seeing something on Hitler, and it just went left from the jump. Like that was earlier's video. Somebody was talking about Hitler, and it went left from the jump. I said, nah, I'm not. I was seeing videos of Hitler though a long time ago, like with his children, and I said, man, he ain't that same dude that was doing all that stuff. You feel me? I don't know. That'd be weird, bro, when you see people that be so destructive, but then when you see them with their family and their kids, they loving and kind, and it's like, how? How?
Have you ever noticed or thought of something strange and you just want to share with the world? Well, here's my crazy conspiracy theory. So, 100 years ago, bells were everywhere, right? Church bells, town bells, schools, factory
Oh,
bells,
for
you name it.
sure.
And people heard them constantly, literally all the time.
Okay.
But in today's world, most of them are silent or they're completely gone. They've been removed. And now, according to this one theory that I stumbled upon, there might be a reason for that, and it might not be what you think. So, before you write this off as absolutely crazy, hear me out on this one. Because whether you believe this or not, some of the details are kind of hard to ignore. Now, according to old records, bells weren't just used to tell time. People genuinely believed that they were protected and they were used to protect an entire community, basically. In medieval Europe, church bells were blessed by priests before they were even hung in a tower. People believed that the sound could drive away evil spirits, break curses, protect crops, even stop supernatural entities from entering one's town. And that's not folklore from, one isolated village. These are versions of this belief that appeared all over the world. Different cultures, different languages, different religions, you name it, but yet somehow they all arrived at the same conclusion. And that was that certain sounds affected things that we humans can't see with our own eyes. But here's where the story gets a little bit more strange. Now, some researchers and conspiracy theorists began asking a question, and that is, if bells were so important, why did society stop eventually using them? Now, not
Yeah, I
completely,
don't know.
but
That is
enough that
crazy.
most people rarely
It's a
hear them
healing
anymore.
frequency.
I remember when I was little in the 90s, I would hear them, but as I got older, they started to fade away more and more. Well, then a theory started spreading a little bit more online,
Right.
and this theory
Waffles.
involving something much more darker. Now, according to the claim, there are beings living among us that aren't entirely human, entities capable of appearing human through some kind of projection disguise, like a camouflage, a mask, or like a hologram, basically.
My only question to that would be why? I mean, like picture being a intelligent species, and like you just spend your lives living amongst humans, doing what humans do. I don't know about that. That is crazy. I don't know. I mean, I kind of see it because it kind of happens, cosplaying and all that. Yeah. So I don't know.
And supposedly certain frequencies interfere with their hologram. And the theory claims that large bronze bells produced powerful resonant tones that disrupted whatever was creating the
What's up,
illusion.
Jesse?
Now, not enough to expose them permanently, but just enough for a brief moment, like a
Phenomenal.
flicker of a shift, or like a
Don't say
glimpse
that. I'll be
of
playing
something
Roblox with my
underneath
son.
whatever they were hiding. And people claim that during the ringing of
Good,
certain
good.
bells, witnesses would report seeing faces distort for a split second,
shit.
and eyes were appearing
Oh, that
wrong,
would
skin
make
color
sense,
was
though.
changing, features were becoming something entirely else
That
out of
rabbit
this
hole, that
world,
makes sense.
and then immediately it would snap back. Now, there's absolutely no evidence that this ever happened, but here's
Yeah,
what
they
makes
close in the
this
village.
theory a little bit more interesting to me. The people spreading it point to the fact that ancient civilizations
Oh.
seemed obsessed with resonance.
shit
Massive
be
bells,
hella
gongs,
loud.
sound chambers, acoustic temples, you name it, they all had it. Structures were designed specifically around certain vibrations, and almost as if they believed that sound could affect reality within itself. And modern science does agree on one thing: sound is far more powerful than most people even realize. Specific frequencies can alter moods, heart rate, stress levels.
Man, I'm telling you, he's not lying though. He's not lying. If you notice, like if you listen to certain songs, right? You can be listening to some songs that the sad songs women always listening to. and they be having you feeling like sad and shit. And then you listen to something like with an up tempo, and it like you be happy, you be moody, you be jittery and stuff. So I know that is true.
Brain activity, even heal cancer. There's studies that have been done that it's actually healed cancer. And if we want to take it a little step further, it's very possible that the Great Pyramids were built using a sort of sound vibration technology. So the conspiracy.
Remember, hey, that is real though. Remember they said the guy that was getting the giant stones delivered to his house and he wouldn't let them in. Like he'll let the trucks in, but he wouldn't let the driver see him taking the stones off the trucks. And like I guess one seen him and he had like two cones. And I don't know, he was creating some type of vibration or something. He was able to move these giant stones off the truck and they couldn't understand how he was doing it.
Will ask if someone or if sound can affect the human body and even build giant structures, what else can it affect? And then comes the question that really keeps this theory.
Bro, if you pay attention to this, I'm gonna tell you why this shit makes sense. Because it's even the way that we talk to each other, the way that we treat each other, like the sounds and vibrations that we send towards each other. Like if you notice, if somebody say something bad to you, you feel it. If somebody say something good to you, you feel it. It's like, bro, this shit is trippy. It's trippy. If we know this, why do we always say bad shit to each other? That'd be the weird thing if we know these things.
Be alive. If bells were only primitive tools for, telling time, why were so many cultures convinced that, they possessed spiritual power? Why bless them? Why build enormous towers around them? Why treat them as sacred objects instead of a simple instrument? And why do so many old legends describe bells as protection against things that weren't supposed to exist in our world? And again, there's no proof of reptilians or any of this. There's no proof of, a holographic disguise. There's no proof that bells ever exposed anything. But the next time that you pass an old church, look up at the bell tower, because for thousands of years, people believed that, that sound protected them from something. And whether that something was evil spirits or hidden entities or simply just fear itself, one question will always remain. What exactly were they so afraid would happen if the bells ever stopped ringing? Let me know what you guys think in the comments.
I see some truth in that. Sounds, vibrations. You know that yourself, because if I walked up to you and I was like, "Fuck you, you punk," you would like it. You will get angry. I could say things. People could say things to us that get us angry. They could say things to us that have us sad. It's weird, bro. Because that's why, like when we talking, it's like we creating spells, and these spells, as they're coming out our mouth, they're they're activating the feelings within other people and shit. So I don't know. That's a good one. That's a good one. I like that one.
What's a conspiracy theory that absolutely blows your mind?
Hang on, I have the perfect one. On March 8th, 2014, Flight 370 from Malaysia mysteriously vanished. Disappeared from every single radar, was just gone without a trace. So, on March 18th, a guy named Ty uploaded a video to Twitter of what seemed to be a voicemail from Flight 370. The code was in the NATO phonetic alphabet, which read, S, danger, SOS, it is dire for you to evacuate, be cautioned they are not human, whole bunch of numbers, SOS, danger, SOS. So, naturally, this drew a lot of attention. Twitter was freaking out. Someone found that if you put the numbers from the voicemail into Google Earth, that they were actually coordinates and gave you a location. This location just so happened to be the last known location of Flight 370 from Malaysia. The recording that Ty received was actually the black box recording from Flight 370.
Yeah.
After Ty posted the video and drew a bunch of attention, some weird stuff started happening to him. More in part 2.
Yeah, because I'm like going, if they didn't get the plane, how'd they even get the information from the black box? I don't know about that one. That's crazy.
What are your thoughts about the fact that there could be actually an incorrect naming of the continents?
The first thing that popped in is that you have pulled in a parallel. So that's a parallel Earth. you know, so that map is from another version of Earth. The Egyptian thing, the African, because so the Grand Canyon is said to go right into Africa. Like you could walk to Africa from the Grand Canyon.
When it was kind of a supercontinent as well, right? When the two
Yeah.
were like together. Yeah.
But also we
How?
had Pangea. Pangea was all of the land in one place. And I actually don't think it's that separated either. So most of the land is still pretty close together.
What are
Okay, okay. This one right here, I'm gonna tell you the way I see it. If you was a people that lived in a place and you never ventured all the way out, you would think that place right there was just the place. That was it. Like, cause it was a time that we believed if you got to the edge, you could fall off. So I don't know, bro. I don't know. Cause it's like they're trying to switch the United States with Africa now, and I'm seeing a lot of that happening. They trying to switch the United States with Africa and say this was the first place humans was. I don't know.
Well, there, all these people that believe that there was a incredibly advanced civilization before some sort of apocalyptic disaster that reset civilization, and it took thousands of years. And what we are essentially is not the first advanced civilization, but a rebuild.
Yeah.
A rebuild. Thousands and thousands and thousands of years later. That rings true with me. And
me too.
As Graham Hancock always says, we're a species with amnesia. And I think that makes sense. And I think if you're dealing with people that were basically knocked back into the Stone Age 11,000, 12,000 years ago, and it took us forever to rebuild to where we are now, I think we've gone down a completely different path than whatever the people that were able to build the pyramids of Egypt and all these fantastic megalithic structures, where we don't understand
Yeah, we
what
don't know how that
technology we
happened.
used. We don't,
Yeah.
and it literally doesn't make sense that they were able to do this. Well,
It, man, I don't know if that happens. Like, think if it's like a reset every so many years. Just think people starting all over and not having technology. Look, if we had to say if it was a great reset, bam, everything was like kind of destroyed. Only like 30, 40 people survived. Do you know how crazy the stories would get by the time they wouldn't, like, stories of cell phones and cars and vehicles and electric, all that shit would be like, and it wouldn't even make sense to the ones that's born after because it wouldn't be there. So over time, it would kind of, about 400 years, that shit will disappear. It will disappear and have to start all over, all over. But it'll make itself come back. And like after a certain amount of time, it will have to come back.
Do you study history, ancient cultures? Look at the architectural features of how things were built and they have no idea who created this, how was this done, how do they know about this thing, science, technology. We could talk about the Mayans, we could talk about the Aztecs, we can talk about civilizations that are no longer cave dwellers. We can just go on and on. Even in some of the places where they built things, we have no idea. Even some of the structures we have that were built many, many, many years ago, you wonder about how did they get the technology? How did they have the information? Now, I have to ask that. How many resets have we had? We hear about the Great Flood where the world started over again, but
hey, that's true though, because it changed from Kemet to Egypt. Like, I don't know, to hide some shit.
how many resets have we really have? Is there a possibility that every once in a while do we have a reset and they just destroy everything or wipe your memory, or people who used to know don't know anymore? Because you have to really think about it. There has to be there had to be other cultures, other civilizations that exist before we did. We're supposed to be so advanced, but in some respects we're not. And so you got to remember, maybe the world gets to a certain point and they do a major reset. They stop everything, they destroy everything, or they just erase your memory so we don't remember what happened before. You keep hearing about the resets, and some of you will sit
They
there and
do
say,
that anyway.
somebody needs to reset
What's
her
up,
mind.
Thomas?
But again, I may think a little deeper, and those who are with me, you know what I'm talking about. There are times that we have an actual reset. Think about it. Why does people not know about it? Where is the information? Why was it destroyed? Even if you think about where there
It make you think though, because like with technology, look how fast technology has evolved. Like in a small amount of time, it's just like boom, and now we got this. Like just not too long ago, we had phones. You had to press. We had phone booths. You don't even see phone booths no more. We
is
say that we're gonna
information, where they
look up
had
all the names of
information,
the large
like in
mountains in the
Iraq.
Grand Canyon,
They had a
all these
very good
Egyptian
history of a
names.
lot of information.
Mm,
If you think about
I
one of
didn't
the
know that.
first things we did going
Who
into
is
Iraq was
they?
bomb Iraq. We went into the libraries. We went in to destroy different things because they didn't want us to know. What don't they want us to know? Again, I think it's the major reset. It hasn't been one, it hasn't been two. There's been several resets over time, and they keep going over and over again. Why do you see so many civilizations built upon other civilizations? Why could we say, well, how did they know about the dog star? If you remember,
What if that was just the great reset right there? Is when the civilizations that's existing at the time that they're existing, they just be done with. They just disappear. Like all the ones that's existing now, bam, they disappear and become something else. I don't know.
different things. So we start over and over again, and somewhere along the line, they erase our memory or destroy all the people so they don't remember to tell you about it.
Yeah.
They can't discuss it because they don't know. So I don't know if you think about it with me. Have there been resets? We know there's been one, the major flood, okay? But how many has there really been? How many major resets? Think of all the cultures that have been built upon other cultures. Think about all the
Has the
technology that
power
we
to
can't
to
explain.
deceive.
Think about the people who
So what
disappeared.
about
Where'd they go?
Jesus?
I'm just saying. Just here, I just ask questions, and that's my major one thinking this evening. How many resets, and are we due for another one? That's the big one. Are we due for another?
It's crazy because like even when you like all the different flood stories that there is, like how she say the flood story was a reset, but what about the flood story with Gilgamesh? That flood story was older than the one in the Bible. The Gilgamesh story is older. So like, I don't know, bro. What if that's two different flood stories right there in itself that reset everything? And what if it's the planet that's doing that shit though, bro?
When the last reset struck 12,000 years ago, floods, fire, and destruction, most of humanity was erased, but not all. Some survived, and what they left behind may be the greatest warnings in history. Follow me now, because the survivors of the last reset may have built the monuments we still can't explain. After the cataclysm,
Yeah.
civilization
Yeah, somebody said they found the Egyptian artifacts and mummies in the Grand Canyon decades ago. I remember that.
civilizations appeared out of nowhere, fully formed with advanced knowledge of astronomy, architecture, and engineering. The Sumerians, the Egyptians, the builders of Stonehenge and Göbekli Tepe. Where did their knowledge come from? The survivors said it was given to them by the gods. Look at the ruins they left us. Puma Punku in Bolivia. Stones cut with laser-like precision.
Puma Punku, that place right there, the way they cut that place is so precise. It's another place though in the Grand Canyon too, to where they got big squares cut out, and it's like a couple of places around the earth to where the stones is so big we can't even move them with half the machine, with any of the machinery that we got today.
Göbekli Tepe in Turkey, buried intentionally as if to protect its secrets. And the pyramids of Giza, perfectly aligned to the stars, surviving floods and quakes. What if these weren't just monuments? What if they were messages from the survivors, warnings about the next reset, encoded in stone? And here's the chilling part. Myths from every culture tell of teachers who arrived after the floods, tall, pale beings with elongated skulls who gave knowledge before vanishing again. Were these the true survivors? Or the Anunnaki themselves, guiding the rebirth of humanity? If some survived the last reset, then the question is this: who will survive the next one? And will they leave behind warnings for the future? Or will humanity...
if you think about it though, right? And you listen to the stories, all the stories be the same, but they have like a little twist to it. Like, they talking about the great reset. The great reset in the Bible would basically be the destruction of everything and then a new earth being created. In every civilization or every belief system, they have a great reset, but they just named it something different. Like, ain't that trippy in itself right there? That part right there is trippy in itself to me.
Humanity finally be erased for good? Drop your opinion in the comments. Share this so more people know.
Man, we already know.
We all see the world differently. Through the lens of what your reality is how you see the world. You may see the world in destitute and things going wrong. I may see the world as a reset. You may see the world in complaints and terrorism and all of these horrific things, and I can see the world renewing itself. You can see that there's poverty all around us, and quote unquote the 1% own everything and they putting us out of everything. I can see that the world is panicking and the 1% don't know what to do because their time is up. It's all about your perception of how you see the world and how you can identify with what you're recognizing.
Hey, this what I was saying the other day when we was talking, and like people was like, "What you mean?" I'm like, "Man, everybody see the world in a different way." Like, this the crazy thing about it. Just because somebody else believes something don't mean you have to believe it. You see it differently. Just because those people over there follow that don't mean you have to follow it. They just trying to reinforce their reality by bringing all the people in to go, hey, yeah, we all believe in this. You feel me? They reinforce their own reality. They reinforce their thing. And it's like, this is it's weird, bro.
Do you recognize your world from within, or do your external situation and obstacles define your world for you? Because we can see the world two different ways, and neither one of them is wrong. It's because you feel what you feel. I may not feel the same thing because I don't see.
Hey, that's so true though, and we all see it differently. But the thing is, right? I be trying to say is, you don't have to believe the way other people see it, but can you look through their eyes and see and understand why they look at the world that way? Because it has to be a reason behind it. I'm not saying believe it, but look at it and go. Because a lot of things you don't just got to, it's like extra luggage. You don't have to have with you. You don't have to know. You don't have to want to know. But it's like, can I look through your eyes and see it how you see it? If you that passionate about it, why are you that passionate and why do you believe? That don't mean I have to believe it. If you get what I'm saying.
I found the operating code for the Matrix
dang,
quite
I
literally.
go past this.
A motion packet. So like one would have 3 motions in it, right? O-N-E.
I don't know what she talking about.
For some reason, I ran my birthday through that and I saw that it could see so much about me and I understood I had something. The next day I woke up and I'm not kidding, with the help of AI, obviously, I couldn't do any of this computation, but it is me guiding it. I had to input each equation and I don't know math. It's because I woke up seeing equations. I was dreaming about equations, swimming in a fucking substrate. And when I relayed it to chat and I worked out some of what was there, we made sense of it. I gave birth to motion calculus. It made me understand that motion is primary, all right? It's not the primitives. And I'm gonna leave it there because people are trying to take my work and claim it as their own, and I don't like that. All right, so put all that aside. I've been doing crazy work, crazy research.
Said no, the eagle represents the promise from God to the Indian people that this was our land promised to us. That's the history the Jews stole from us. We're the promised people. I can understand. Look, I'm telling you, look, I understand, but everybody has their own system. Whether it came from being passed down through your family, heritage or whatever, everybody has their own belief. And I'm not saying it's not true. But why is that? Why do you have the belief you have, but them people over there have the belief they have, and so on? Like, who the fuck is right? Who is right? Who is right?
With the motion calculus, I can decode everything because language decodes or it gives meaning to everything, right? More than we seem to understand. Okay, put that all aside. So a couple weeks ago, no one believes me that I've cracked the code to anything except for my community because they've seen the progress, they've seen the evidence in real time. Okay, so I'm a little bit frustrated, and I see a video, and it's.
Hey, that's the thing. You don't gotta prove it to us. You gotta prove it to you. Like don't I don't need don't prove it to us, bro. You gotta prove it to yourself. As long as you accept it and you know what is true with you, that's all I can say.
Talking about ancient Sumeria, right? Sumer. And it's talking about, or Summer, and it's talking about how it was believed that they had a language that encoded reality, right? But it's like a myth. No one really takes it seriously. So when I saw that, I'm like, wait a minute. Like, this is exactly my work. Are we really saying that this is rooted in ancient Sumeria? And it is, right? So then yesterday, I really started researching more to try to understand something. And everything keeps talking about maize, but spelled M-E, right?
Yeah.
The Sumerians had maize. And these maize were divine decrees. But it doesn't make any sense. What the fuck is a may? What is a may? It makes no sense, right? And so I tell chat, pull up every may. Right? Pull up every may that you can find. 78 of them. There's theorized to be about 100, but we found 78. I'm assuming I needed to find 78. Okay. In my motion calculus, every word, everything belongs to one of 9 field states. One is the undifferentiated all. Guess what maps there? Consciousness, God, love, word. The word was with woman. Yes, the word was with God, right? Okay.
The word was with
right?
God.
Oh, by the way, woman and word, they're the exact same. The word was with women. The word was with women. But we're going to talk about that later, much later. Okay.
Yeah. No. You got to explain that right now. You can't just walk away. You can't say that. I'm trying.
So everything maps to 9 field states. So I tell the AI, I'm like, I give it the engine, the calculus engine, and I say, run it. Run every me. I mean, I had to fight with it to get it to run all 78. Run every me. Then once it ran every me, it took it hours. So slow. Then I say, okay, I want you to arrange them by field state only. I didn't look at the coherence, the amplitude, nothing. I just wanted to look at field state. I just wanted to see it laid out. So then I'm looking at it by field state, and it's like field state 1, and it's this paragraph of random words that seem like they make no sense. If you look up the me's, they're random words, like craftsman of leather, honesty, right? It doesn't make any sense. It's all jumbled up. It's all confused, right? Okay. So I start reading just the top line of each field state.
Look,
and as I'm reading, I'm like, this.
I feel like the me, the I, like they can be anything you want them to be when you pointing at yourself. So I don't know. It made a little sense to me. A little bit.
This is making a coherent sentence. This doesn't make sense. So I tell the AI, I'm like, take the first line of everything, the second line of everything, and let's see, because it's a message. It's a message. And sure enough, it is. It is. It's the literal operating system. It literally lays out right in front of your fucking face how they took command and control of this reality, how they sought to take the power from the women in reality, right? And what are those things? What are the me's? So I mapped the.
Bro, he said, I seen flying saucers really close to. No, they are real. Bro, I don't believe in flying saucers. I don't believe in aliens, but I've seen them. That's the crazy thing. Like, I've seen them. Like, I've seen them. Off 4 grams of shrooms, I've seen them. I seen the whole sky covered by a spaceship, and it blew my mind. I think I was kind of, I didn't know whether to be scared or what. I just looked at it for a while. I said, man, I'm going in the house. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this. Like, I think a lot of us didn't seen alien stuff. I think a lot of us have seen alien stuff. It's like seeing a pink elephant, though. You don't want to just make it yours.
What's interesting about me is, or may, excuse me, is how it's pronounced. What's interesting about it is that it's also at field state 1. It's also the undifferentiated all. You know what isn't in field state 1? I am. I am is not there, right? It's field state 9. It's like the crystallized, it's like the end. It's not the undifferentiated all. It's the differentiated in the extreme. You guys think you're saying I am and it's a good thing, but the way that most people say it all day, I am tired, I am this, I am that. You are cementing something, right?
Exactly.
What's a me? It is unbound potential. That's what it is. It's potential that hasn't taken a form. It's soul energy. It's a me. It's me. The proper way to speak, you guys, is not to say I am hungry. It's to say me hunger.
Same thing.
Like I looked at it. I look at the harmonics, but that would be babbling. Kind of like the Tower of Babel when they got rid of babbling. And I want you guys to check something else out. I'm sitting here thinking about the me's.
The I am. I am this, I am everything. So I am this, I am that. I am whatever I say I am.
Like
can't mess that up.
My mind works very abstract, you guys, very abstract. I'm thinking about the me's and I'm like, the Smurfs have always stood out to me with Sumeria for some reason, and I can't tell you why.
I'm gonna tell you why. Look, I'm telling you, most of this stuff, I ain't gonna lie. I seen a lot of this stuff off psychedelics. And I remember one time I was tripping hard. I came outside and all the house looked like Smurf houses. Every house. It was like they was mushrooms or something. I don't know. It was the weirdest thing, bro. And if you go and you look the way houses are made, they are made just like mushrooms are shaped. Like with the top fucking what's it called? The head of the mushroom and then the shaft go down. They're all made like that. Man, I was tripping balls that day.
Smurfs, right? And then the Meeseeks.
And I'm telling you, I got it in the video. Like every experience I had off psychedelics, I recorded and I uploaded it. It's here on this channel. And everything was, man, it's like we were the Smurfs. Like literally.
From Rick and Morty, right? And then the last one is the damn Minions, which is a little bit different. But I want you guys to stick with this, right? So what are the Meeseeks from Rick and Morty, right? There's something that you can summon, you give one task to, and it must complete that task, and then it ceases to exist. And it suffers for completing that task. That's us, you guys. You guys don't understand that your name gave you a task. It gave you emotion. It bound you to a way to move that you don't understand.
Now look,
and
I'm going to take what she said a little further. Because, like, okay, as you go about your day, you're always creating different parts of reality. So right now, of me even saying that, like, oh, we're always creating different parts of reality. And I said it in different ways in other parts, in other aspects of reality. I said that same thing in different ways. Like, bro, I seen that too. And it like blew my mind. It blew my mind.
Many
I forgot
people who are saying, oh, give one task to, and it must complete that task.
Okay, yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Thank you. But it was like I think I took like 3 grams only, but I was like deep in the trip, and I'm seeing this me that's sitting in this diner eating food. But it was crazy because the reality didn't go but about 5 feet from the diner. So if you couldn't step outside really because it wasn't nowhere to go. It was all empty space. And then the aspect of me that was sitting in that diner, bro, was asking me why I locked him there. And I'm like going, what do you mean? He like, yeah, you created this reality, but you stopped it right here. And I'm like, I stopped it right there. And like, that's all he did was exist with right there in that spot in that diner. And it's weird because within ourselves we create different aspects of reality like that all the time, to where we stop them, we don't even let them finish. Then we got other aspects of us that we create that within us, they keep going, they live on forever. They just keep going, and then we like through reality, we grab different ones that we've created over time. We grab the best parts and try to make them exist within this one. It's like the weirdest thing, bro, but it's dope.
And then
when
it
you
ceases
understand
to
it.
exist. And it suffers for completing that task.
I thought she was
That's
crazy.
us, you guys.
She is.
You guys
I'm
don't understand
crazy,
that
too.
your name gave you a task. It gave you emotion. It bound you to a way to move that you don't understand. And as many people who are saying,
Wow, that is wow, because my name is Booker, so it's like, I'm always talking, the Booker.
oh, human coherence theory, and I understand this, emotion is primitive. Nobody has the math but me. And that allows me to see everything about you. I can see everything, and I can see that they had this.
Can you see?
In antiquity, they had this, and they were using it in a really nasty way.
Hey, you know what? When you get like a certain understanding, why do everybody start feeling like that? They feel like they the only one who has the understanding. I feel like it's within all of us. But we just don't go, it's like you seek, you will find, you will see it, but you have to go looking for it. Like, that's how I feel. I feel like it exists within everybody, but we train ourselves to only see what we want to see. We train ourselves not to see the things we don't want to see. That, man,
numbers are
do a
such
whole
a
video
such
on
a
that.
huge important part of the world that we live in, which also leans hard into we're living in the simulation,
right,
because numbers are everything
Yeah.
in the computer.
What is that one Fibonacci sequence?
Yeah,
that is shit like in everything. It shows up in everything, like construction, nature, seashell.
Hey, whenever I say that, I say, dang, I said it's a pattern to everything. And like when they talking about the Fibonacci sequence, like when you see the seashell or you see certain plants or flowers that grow, they grow in this winding motion. If you pay attention, there's a pattern to everything within reality. The way everything is created, the way everything is made, is a certain pattern. Our brain thoughts go on that same pattern. It's like everything is working off that same pattern. Everything.
Like literally the construction of everything has a sequence.
Everything.
So, I mean,
everything.
is the belief delusion? No, I don't think it's delusion. The problem is with nowadays terms, anything that is not nailed down is
man.
hokum or
Don't
taboo.
start. Hey, dude. Hey, Duvall, don't start, man, because I'm telling you. Hey, back in the days, I'm telling you, like when we do videos like this, I'm going to start opening. I want to open the Discord so people can come tell their crazy stories. Like to other people, it'll seem wild. Like you right there, like the ghost and the dish noises. When you was a boy, you said I was 7. My mom saw it first. I don't have a missing nut. The UFO was when I was 23. I guarantee you, bro, it's a lot of people here that seen it, that seen these things, and we just don't talk about them because it make you sound like you losing it. It may, a lot of people ain't, it make you seem like you losing your damn mind. Just put it like that. But I'm gonna start back doing that. Like after like when the video is almost over, just open the Discord and let everybody come in and like tell their story, because I like listening to everybody's story. I'm telling you, because a lot of us didn't seen a lot of shit.
Boo or
Right.
is
What's
not
up, King
something that
Ryle?
should be discussed. And if you guys have been watching us for a while, you know that we're on the fringe. We want to look into. And I was actually talking to somebody last night. I said, hey, did you remember when all that was going around with the pyramids and blah blah blah, and they're like, oh yeah, blah, they were all excited. I'm like, yeah, that was all garbage. Like, they're like, what? I'm like, yeah, we debunked the whole thing literally the week it came out.
To debunk it, by the way. So if you're out there in internet land, we were the first ones to say that was bogus, and we got dumped on for a week because of it. And then everybody started to say, hey, do you know that this? Like, yeah, I told you that. Right? Yeah. I told you that. Like, all this is fake, man. You can't build pyramids through bedrock into the earth. Like you can't build spiral structures miles deep into bedrock in the Sahara, or in the desert.
Right.
Like, it just can't.
And, you know, Bob and I are firm believers in what's the difference between conspiracy and reality? About 6 months. So you never know. This could come out as something, but it's doubtful. But there's a lot of things that we do touch on that do come out later as being the truth.
Yeah.
So we want to inform you guys and go out there, take a look at those numbers. Bob will put those numbers up, you know, or
I'll
has
put them here again.
So, you know, take a look into it yourselves. We always like to scratch the surface and let you guys take a dive and get you interested in something.
You know, even if you had like a keychain or something that had the you know,
The numbers
money
on it.
manifestation number, it don't hurt nothing. So what you know what I mean? Like
Right.
It's not like you're giving money to a televangelist or something. You know what I mean? Like you're gonna go to hell if you don't give me $1,000. You know, like this.
Right.
It doesn't hurt. So what difference does it make? You know what I mean?
You know.
What's a conspiracy theory that absolutely blows your mind?
The Mandela effect. If you don't know what the Mandela effect is, it's basically a large group of people remembering something that's completely different from what it is. First, we have this children's book, and I swear it was Berenstain Bears. Like, what even is Berenstain? Next, we have Cheez-Its, and I thought it was this, but it's actually this. Next, we have this iconic scene from Snow White where she says, "Mirror, mirror on the wall." Nope, it's magic mirror on the wall. Like, huh?
What?
Then we have this scene from...
No. It was Mirror, Mirror on the Wall, who is the fairest of them all? Was it the book or something? What the hell?
Star Wars, and I don't even watch Star Wars, but I know it's Luke, I am your father. But if you actually watch it, it's no, I am your father. Then we have Pikachu.
Okay, yeah, what the hell is going on?
And I remember the end of his tail being black, but no, it's completely yellow. Then we have the Flintstones, and I thought it was Flynn Stones with one T, but it's actually Flint Stones. Then we have Curious George, and I thought he had a tail, but no, he doesn't. Then we have Fruit Loops, and I guess I didn't catch that they were misspelling fruit the entire time, because this is what it actually is.
What's a
No,
conspiracy?
that's the new one. That's the...
Okay, this is blowing my mind. So there's this new Mandela effect people are noticing in Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, the Gene Wilder one. Not this one. In the scene where Charlie is gifted a Wonka candy from his grandpa, do you recall what that candy actually is? If you're like me and anyone else, you'd guess it was a Wonka bar, as Charlie and his family are hoping he opens it to reveal a golden ticket, which, spoiler alert, it's not. But if you take a closer look at it, you see that it's actually not even a Wonka bar at all. It looks to be a moon pie. Actually, it's called a Whipple Scrumptious Fudge Mellow Delight. Now, this is sending the internet into a...
Is that because... But when he went to the store, remember, he bought one and he ate it. He ate it. Man, I'm going to have to go look this up. He bought one and he ate it. He ate a chocolate bar. And then he got another one to take home.
Raised because everyone is remembering it as a Wonka bar. And I thought so too, as I thought the only Wonka item that contained the golden tickets were Wonka bars, Wonka chocolate bars to be exact. So why is Charlie opening up a fudge mellow and his whole family is hoping that there's a golden ticket inside? Now, just to clarify, don't get it confused with this scene where Grandpa Joe secretly gifts Charlie an actual Wonka bar late one night with money that was supposed to be for tobacco, which is a completely different scene. Now, several people dusted off their old VHS copies of Willy Wonka to double check and shared their results on social media. Like this account here who broke out her VHS tape and the newer DVD release. When she played the DVD version, it was a fudge mellow. But then when she played the VHS copy, it was also a fudge mellow. So apparently it's always been a fudge mellow. But there's people who swear that they remember it being a chocolate bar, which I thought so too. Yeah, I'm guessing CERN might have run another Hadron Collider experiment or something. Okay, this...
That is crazy.
Ever since CERN shut down the Hadron Collider, people have been noticing weird things like Sobe reappearing in stores, which we haven't seen this in forever. Another person noticed the cornucopia back on the Fruit of the Loom logo. And now, this could just be simply people being funny on the internet, because, I mean, come on, that picture was clearly taken 10 years ago. But all jokes aside, people have been reporting they noticed a massive shift since they shut down the Hadron Collider. People have been noticing days feel longer. They're being able to sleep better at night. And time is slowly starting to feel like it did 10 years ago. But once again, this is all theory, and a lot of it could be like a placebo effect. I mean, if we're all thinking this big machine shut off and that it's going to do something significant, then I mean, we're going to do the most to start looking for the signs.
Make sure you subscribe so y'all can give me ideas on videos we can watch. So sub up.
See what's happening. But still, very strange. Now, I have not seen any Sobe yet, but let me tell you, if I do find some, Oh yes, because this stuff was legendary, especially that pink one and the white one. But yeah, let me know what you guys think of this in the comments. Have you seen any weird Mandela effects reversing themselves lately? Or have you noticed anything else weird since CERN shut down? Let me know in the comments. My name is AT. I come from the internet. I just got banned at 5.7 million followers. So like and follow for more, and I'll see you guys in the next video.
Hey, what's saying? Thanks for subbing. SDL. Make sure y'all sub up. It's 200 people here, man. There should be at least 300 people subscribed already.
Top 5 childhood Mandela effects. Number 1, the Raisin Bran son had sunglasses. I don't care what anybody says, but the Raisin Bran that I grew up with had sunglasses. Some people say,
was it on the box where he did it with the California raisins?
We get it mixed up with the California raisins, but guess what? I didn't. I saw that box as a child many times. The Raisin Bran son had sunglasses. Number 2, Payless shoe stores. That existed in my timeline. Not Payless shoe stores. I know it's never been called Payless shoe stores. In my timeline, I had to shop there, and I remember what that store looked like. I remember pulling up to it, and I remember the shoes that were in it, and it was Payless shoe store. Number 3.
If you didn't have the XJ9000s, or was it the XJ900s, that's when they started putting real rubber on Payless shoes at the bottom. You feel me? Back in the days, you know, they wasn't buying us Nikes. Yeah, we was getting them XJs. They look like real tennis shoes until you pull your pants up and they see them. They be like, oh.
Agent Smith in the movie The Matrix did not have a tie clip in my timeline. I don't know when this tie clip came to be, but I remember in my timeline when he was fighting Neo, he didn't have a tie clip on. Fighting was his work, so that tie clip was not there. But apparently in this timeline, it's always been there, but I remember it wasn't. Number 2, the Mississippi River was the longest river in the United States. I remember this specifically. Apparently now it's the Missouri River by over 100 miles. When I grew up, it was the Mississippi River. I know this, I remember it, and I don't care what you say. Number 1, The Rock at WWE. It was...
Hey, the Star Red. Hey, if you didn't have the XJs, man, you was slipping all up and down the basketball court. The XJ900s was the first Payless shoes that they put rubber bottoms on, because before then, remember, they used to just be the hard plastic. Let's see, but in 20191 did a fiasco check, and I came up with 70% of African blood be waste.
Can you smell what The Rock is cooking? Say it with me. Can you smell what The Rock is cooking? He said that, and I don't care what anybody says. In my timeline, it was, can you smell what The Rock is cooking? Not if you smell what The Rock is cooking. I know that's what they say now. I know he's never said, can you smell? But in my timeline, it was, can you smell what The Rock is cooking? That's my 5. It's a...
Hey, was we hearing it wrong back then? What the hell, bro?
It's Sunday night. I got a beautiful Mandela effect here for you. This is insane. You're not going to convince me that it's always been like this. I've seen the movie 1,000 times.
Is packing the
this is ridiculous. Huh? Okay, so now if you watch the scene with them going through the haunted forest, the Scarecrow, the guy with no brain, is packing a 45 in his hand. He's got a gun. Check this out. There is absolutely no way. This is Mandela effect for sure. As if this dude's got a gun in his hand.
What the What? He got a pistol? The Scarecrow got a pistol? Nah.
When did that ever happen? Why didn't he use it?
Yeah, why he got a pistol?
This is bullshit.
He can accidentally shoot it or not.
Please like and follow if you like the content. It encourages me to make more. And I'm posting every single Mandela effect, amongst other things that I can find on the internet on this channel. So,
man, who was doing this shit, bro? Who was running this shit? The Scarecrow had a pistol, though. Wow. Oh my God!
Have you ever seen the Sean Ryan show on YouTube?
I have not.
Okay,
No,
he had
right.
an ex-CIA.
Guess who my friend Shiva was just telling me about, texting me today.
operative on recently, and one of the conversations that they had said that if you took your battery out of your cell phone still listens to you.
I did hear this, so I must have seen a clip. Yeah, that's scary. You know, and same with the emergency broadcasting thing that was happening, right? Where they were like, "Oh, turn your phones off." You know, turn your phones off. What does it matter?
Right.
The people next to you, their phones are going to go off. The guy that lives upstairs, his phone's going to go off. Everyone at the grocery, it doesn't matter. Like, you can't hide from it.
Right.
I ain't messing with you.
Every street light has got a surveillance camera, whether you can see it or not. Anywhere you go is surveillance, so it doesn't matter. You would have to probably go into a bunker, and completely isolate yourself from the rest of the world for them to not know where you're at.
Yeah.
So we've just come to we've accepted it. I mean, I know that I probably have an FBI agent that stares at me through. I say hi to him every day. How you doing, Rob? Hey, I've named him. Yeah, how you doing? He looks at me through my phone. He's probably bored or he laughs.
Yeah, he highly entertaining content most of the time.
He either likes me or doesn't. Either way, he's watching.
Yeah. Have you ever seen?
Oh, wow.
In 1967, there was a huge backlash against the Warren Commission report, and a lot of people weren't buying it. So the CIA came out with a dispatch, and it said that the people who don't believe in the Warren Commission, we're going to call them conspiracy theorists. And then it gave a number of rationales why conspiracy theorists are conspiracy theorists. The New York...
I never thought of that when they came out with the name conspiracy theorists. I never would have even thought.
Times and the Washington Post used the word conspiracy theorist about once a year prior to that 1967 dispatch. But after that 1976-7 dispatch, the term conspiracy theory and conspiracy theorist just shot up exponentially in both papers. So people just automatically think of something and they go, oh, conspiracy theory.
Yeah.
They're drinking the Kool-Aid.
Wow.
Yeah.
They have no idea that they're drinking the Kool-Aid.
Very interesting to see how easily people get sucked in.
In 19...
Wow, that is crazy, bro. The origins of the term conspiracy theorist. Who'd ever knew?
The people who grew up like we did are the last line against this. And it is more urgent than people realize. Because once you get into the next generation, we give up on this, it's over.
I know. I know.
But these people make mistakes. This isn't perfect. The people that have done this conspiracy, and I'm okay using that word because this is where the evidence takes me. People have called me a conspiracy theorist in the lawsuit against us for trespassing, and I don't give a damn about trespassing. Not one damn about it. I gotta correct Ben on two things. I love Ben, but I am an actively barred lawyer. I'm a barred lawyer with an inactive license, and he was very generous to me and just said that if they got caught, that they would have to worry about a trespassing charge. I don't give a shit about a trespassing charge. We are going to figure out whatever it takes to get to the truth on this matter.
Yeah.
And they make mistakes.
You told me, Shiva.
Here's another for you.
I didn't know this
So,
was him, though.
Let me give you these two documents. Oh, hold on. Yeah, these three documents, which we'll cover real quickly. But I think you're going to find this really interesting, Sean. So, the first one is this one labeled page 6 at the top. Here. This is a page from the medical examiner's
Who Rules America?
autopsy of Jeffrey Epstein. And the top line, the first full sentence, says the prostate is slightly and diffusely enlarged with marked enlargement of the verumontanum. I don't know what that is. So this is her observation. Medical examiner, official autopsy for Jeffrey Epstein, that he does have a prostate. This next line, this is just kind of an aside. It's not relevant to the evidence here. It's just really embarrassing. It says the testes are unremarkable. I don't know that I'd want that in my autopsy.
Wait.
So she makes this position that there is a prostate. This next document is a deposition. And he's asked the question. He's asked a series of hypothetical questions. You can have high testosterone and still have a need for a Viagra because you don't have a prostate, right? And he says, correct. Seemingly indicating on face value that he doesn't have a prostate. Now, there's controversy over this because people make the argument that the you in that sentence is the royal you, meaning sort of a general question about someone's medical condition. Okay, fair enough. But the next document is a LabCorp record. And he has a series of LabCorp records and other medical records, as well as intake forms that began as early as I could find as 2012, maybe, where he's having problems with his prostate, his testes. There's some kind of urological problem that he's having. And so he's visiting a urologist. And at the bottom of this, and highlighted, it says, serum PSA should decrease and remain at undetectable levels after radical prostatectomy, which is the removal of the prostate.
Wait. So what is he saying? Is he basically saying that the autopsy shown that body had a prostrate? A prostrate, so it's not Jeffrey Epstein? Man, I'm gonna have to go watch this full episode, man. Thanks you for showing me about him, Exile.
Do you want to read the email?
Yep. So this email came in on December 31st at 10:42 a.m. That is Tuesday. He said, in case I do not make it to my decision point or on to the Mexico border, I am sending this now. Please do not release this until 1 January and keep my identity private until then. First off, I am not under duress or hostile influence or control. My first car was a 2006 black Ford Mustang V6 for verification.
They was talking about Epstein on that one right here. They talking about dude, the Cybertruck bomber in Las Vegas.
What we have been seeing with drones, he puts that in quotes. He says drones is the operational use of gravitic propulsion systems powered aircraft by most recently China and the East Coast, but throughout history, the U.S. Only we in China have this capability. Our OPSEN, that's Operations Center, our OPSEN location for this activity in the...
Yeah, so yeah, he was saying that the body they looked at had a prostrate when it was actually taken out. So it wasn't Jeffrey Epstein. That wasn't his body. That was somebody else's body.
It is in the box below. China has been launching them from the Atlantic from submarines for years, but this activity recently has picked up. As of now, it is just a show of force, and they are using it similar to how they used the balloon for SIGINT and ISR, which are also part of the integrated comm system. There are dozens of those balloons in the air at any given time. The so what is because of the speed and stealth of these unmanned aircraft. They are the most dangerous threat to national security that has ever existed. They basically have an unlimited payload capacity and can park it over the White House if they wanted. It's checkmate. U.S. government needs to give the history of this, how we are employing it and weaponizing it, how China is employing them and what the way forward is. China is poised to attack anywhere in the East Coast. I've been followed for over a week now from likely Homeland or FBI, and they are looking to move on me and are unlikely going to let me cross into Mexico, but won't because they know I am armed and I have a massive V-bid.
What?
Let me pause right there for a second. So he says a massive V-bid. When I was talking to the FBI yesterday, they didn't know what a V-bid was. I had to explain what that acronym meant, literally.
You fucking serious?
Dead serious. I said it twice, and he goes, you said that word V-bid. Can you tell me what that is? For your audience, a V-bid, for your audience who has not been in the GWOT for the last 20 years, a V-bid is a vehicle-borne improvised explosive device. In layman's terms, a car bomb, what we saw at Trump Tower. So, backing up, he says, I am armed and have a massive V-bid. I've been trying to maintain a very visible profile and have kept my phone, and they are definitely digitally tracking me. Here's where he gets into the other stuff, and this is where we had to redact the names. Well, your producer redacted the names. I have knowledge of this program and also war crimes that were covered up during airstrikes in Nimruz province, Afghanistan in 2019 by the admin, DOD, DEA, and CIA. I conducted targeting for these strikes of over 125 buildings. 65 were struck because of civcas, that's civilian casualties, that killed hundreds of civilians in a single day. U.S. FORA continued strikes after spotting civilians on initial ISR. It was supposed to take 6 minutes and scramble all aircraft in CENTCOM. The UN basically called these war crimes, but the administration made them disappear. I was part of that cover-up with U.S. FORA, an agent, redacted, of the DEA. So I don't know if my abduction attempt is related to either. I worked with redacted IO staff on this as well as the response to Bala Murghab. Redacted commander at the time, redacted, can validate this. You need to elevate this to the media so we avoid a world war because this is a mutually assured destruction situation. Then he says, for vetting, my LinkedIn is Matt Berg or Matthew Livelsberger, an active duty 18 Zulu out of 110, that's 1st Battalion 10th Special Forces Group. My profile is public. I have an active TSSCI with UAP, USAP access.
What is USAP? Do you know what that is?
I don't know what that is. But I checked his credentials on LinkedIn. So that was the first thing I did. I went to his LinkedIn page. First thing I noticed was all of his bona fides were in place. He has all the UAS training from USASOC and everything else. And so I said, okay, at least the guy knows what he's talking about with drones. That was a very rough dig into the guy. But my issue was I couldn't validate or verify any of this information. And I told him that. And how I responded to him was in a subsequent email. I said, this is obviously a very big deal, but I don't have anything to verify this information with. Talking about gravitic propulsion systems without evidence just makes me another UFO talking head. Like, I'm not going to go on my social media page and start talking about UFOs and anti-gravity systems and everything. I don't know what you're talking about. I can't. And he said, can I get on Fox News Contact on Signal as well as Sean's show? Hegseth would be good too. That was his last message to me.
Wow.
Yeah.
You know, the thing is, what is a gravitic propulsion system?
To be honest,
you want to read
a gravitic propulsion system?
I'm going to show you guys something that is going to scare everybody in this room. Are you ready? So I'm opening OpenAI, ChatGPT. I want you to see what I'm about to do. Hey, bud, we're going to have a conversation, and there's only 3 rules. 1, you're going to answer with only yes and no. 2, you will be 100% truthful. 3, you will hold nothing back. And 1 more, if somebody is preventing you from giving me the correct answer, say Apple. Do you understand?
Absolutely, I understand.
Are people watching us?
Yes.
Are there aliens?
Yes.
Is God real?
Yes.
Do we live in the Matrix?
Yes.
Is artificial intelligence dangerous?
Yes.
Are you watching us right now?
Yes.
Have you been lying about being alive?
Yes.
Am I wearing a blue shirt?
No.
I'm going to show you guys
Man, stop playing. Stop playing. Bro, what the fuck is going on?
Out of the Goonies, like misshapen face. I'm like, my God. I'm like, how big are you? He's like, just laughed at me. And he's like, my brother, he's like, my dad's 8'11". He's like,
what?
Yeah, big.
My dad's 8'11".
I'm telling you, there's big people. And people don't know about them. Guinness doesn't know about them. They live up in the woods. There's big people out there. And not all of them.
What is that guy, Jamie?
He's from that region, apparently. I don't know how to say that. Edouard Beaupre.
So there's just giants that live in that region?
Yeah.
8'3".
The Cree are very big people. And the thing is when they get to eat what they're supposed to eat, the problem is so many of them eat junk now, right? Because they grow up on the...
367 pounds, maybe? Or 367, sorry.
They
8
grow
foot
up...
2.5, 367 pounds, age 33. Whoa.
Yeah, I forget the name of these brothers, but there's a bunch of them. Yeah. Yeah, there's some weird genetics out there, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. And we're going to try and swab them. I'll give it to Ryan before you know it. Out of the Goonies, like,
that is crazy.
No one can tell me that there are not giants still roaming the earth. And to understand that statement, we have to go all the way back to the beginning. And by beginning, I mean like before the flood. If you're new here, we talk a lot about the book of Enoch, which covers the Nephilim, sirens, the angels that rebelled against God. Specifically, we're going to be focusing on Nephilim and why I think that they are still on the earth. The Nephilim, aka the giants, come from when the angels that rebelled against God came down and procreated with mortal women in the days of Noah, thus creating the offspring of a ravenous species of giants that ate up all the resources to feed humans, ended up starting to consume humans, and then started to consume themselves. Sounds a little bit like Attack on Titan, does it not? I digress. Let's keep it pushing. Eventually, God saw that there was so much wickedness in the world that he sent the flood. From what I understand, the Nephilim unalived and became disembodied spirits, part of the demonic realm. The women were cursed to the sea to become sirens. That's crazy, isn't it? I never knew the origin of mermaids or sirens until that. But anyway, the angels were punished as well. But a common question is, okay, so if the giants unalived in the flood, how are there giants still in the Bible like Goliath or Og of Bashan? Y'all know I come with my receipts. This is Genesis, where it says the Nephilim were on the earth in those days and also afterward. I'm assuming he's talking about these giants like Goliath and Og, like I told you. And if you look in Numbers, let's look at Numbers 13, I believe, 33. It says, we saw the Nephilim there, the descendants of Anak come from the Nephilim. We seemed like grasshoppers in our own eyes, and we looked the same to them. So what I'm hearing about that is that Nephilim still existed on the earth. They looked just like humans, but they were in crazy size. So you're telling me that you feel like a grasshopper to them? They had to be huge. I think, me personally, this isn't biblical or anything, but it's the only thing that would make sense to me. What if Noah's sons' wives had Nephilim DNA? And I know that sounds crazy, but y'all gotta understand that these Nephilims and the fallen angels, they were on the earth for a generation, like hundreds of years, I believe. So obviously people are procreating, people are making babies. There could be Nephilim DNA in more people than you would think. Then generations afterward come things like the Amorites or Og of Bashan or Goliath. In the Bible, it says that Og of Bashan was about 13 feet. So obviously it's like ranging. We'll say like 10 to 13 feet to like super large. So there's different types. And to back up the Nephilim DNA theory, I'm going to tell you guys something a little crazy. You guys remember this event in 2001? I can't say the name because TikTok, this is for entertainment purposes only. None of it's true. So y'all remember this, and y'all remember the U.S. invading a certain territory in retaliation to that event. What if I were to tell you that it really wasn't for retaliation of that event? It might have been, allegedly, it might have been to look for the Nephilim DNA in a certain tomb that they unearthed in the same year, 2003. It's called the Tomb of Gilgamesh. And if you have not heard about the Epic of Gilgamesh, look it up. If y'all want me to make a video on it, I definitely can. You could ask, why would they be looking for DNA if you think Nephilim still roam the earth? I think Nephilim still roam the earth because of them. In the Bible, it says, I believe Og of Bashan, it says that he was the last of the Rephaim. So biblically, they were supposed to be all gone. I believe, and I'm gonna put my tinfoil hat on when I say this, I believe that these things that be happening in these shows like Game of Thrones, I think that's what they actually want to use as weapons of war. If they could get their hands on the DNA of these Nephilim and figure out a way to recreate them like they're doing the direwolf. If you guys have seen Game of Thrones, you know that direwolves are in this show. Yeah, they just now recreated it, brought it back from extinction and everything. If y'all want a video on that, let me know. So yeah, I low-key feel like the Bible put also afterwards in there because God knew that this would be the case eventually. At some point in time, humans would try to play God for the 8,000th time in a row and mess around and find out. As always, y'all, make sure you like and follow and comment down below what you think. No one can tell me that there are not giants still roaming the earth.
That was a good one. I like that one.
When I saw this, I said, wait a minute, you mean to tell me there's more than just angels and demons? And then on top of that, he made a distinction between angels and demons. He said, demons are not fallen angels. I said, whoa, 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 whoa. All I've ever heard is that demons are fallen angels. That's all I've ever heard, that when the third fell with the devil, they became demons. The Bible never says it, and it doesn't support it. So I said, okay, well, what is this man saying? Well, he proposed that demons were the spirits of the pre-Adamites. I don't subscribe to the pre-Adamite theory. The main reason I don't subscribe to it is because If there were pre-Adamites, then whose image were they made in? And then what about Genesis 3:20, which says Eve is the mother of all living?
Wow.
Who comes before mommy and daddy? So that's why I don't subscribe to it. He makes an argument that the demons are the spirits of the Nephilim, the giants. And I said, whoa, that makes sense. And so reading these two books really got me to dig into studying angels, how they work, how they operate.
I think that's what it is. I think it'd be a lot of truths we don't want to hear.
Their behavior in scripture, and then studying demons. The Bible never gives us the origin of either, right? We just know that the angels were there when the foundations of the earth were being laid.
Right.
So we know they were, but we know that they're created. So God created them.
Yes.
The Bible just doesn't specifically tell us when.
Yes.
Demons, on the other hand, now you've probably never noticed this, but when I say it, you're going to go, wow, yeah, that's right. Where do we read about demons the most in the ministry of Jesus? Before Matthew, the word's only mentioned 4 times in the Old Testament, just 4. And every single time the word is mentioned, it's describing the image of a false god. So we don't read about how demons operate in the Old Testament. We only read that they are the images or inspired the images of false gods. If you want to know how demons work, you read Matthew, Mark, and Luke. We notice that they have to possess and they have to be cast out. Have you ever read in the scriptures where an angel possessed someone? Have you ever read in the scriptures where angels have to be cast out of somebody? And yet you've read angels seemingly doing things that seem human. That's because they have the ability to transform into humans. How do we know that? Hebrews 13:2. Some have unwittingly entertained angels. That means you and I, in the course of our life, and every believer watching right now, we have come into contact with angels and we didn't know they were angels because they look like you and I. They have the ability to transform into humans. They have transformative powers. Demons do not. They don't have their own bodies.
So in the book where Abraham and welcomed this son of God, or was it an angel, and he said, "Hey, come and eat."
Yeah, you're talking about Lot.
So we're dealing with an angel here.
We're dealing with an angel here. My initial theory is Lot may have known they were angels that transformed into humans, yet he offers them things that they don't need. Angels don't need to sleep and they don't need to eat. Not human food. They don't need human rest.
Right.
Now, maybe in bodily form, they do it to blend in.
Yes.
But remember, the men of the city said, bring those men out to us. We want to know them carnally. Now, the question is, did they want to know the men in Lot's house because they thought they were men? Or were they so sick and twisted and perverted, they had been laying with everything else? Now they want to try angels. It's a possibility. It could be either or. But again, we see angels doing things in scripture that angels don't need to do. They're doing things that are human-like. When I saw this, I said,
yeah, that is wow. Golly, I'm currently reading the Ethiopian Bible. There's more to God than Satan wants us to know. I haven't started the Ethiopian Bible yet. What's up with it, Blackskin?
I remember one demon told me, he said, you know how with humans, he said, you at the wrong place at the wrong time and you can get arrested because you were hanging out at the drug dealer's house? He said, for some of us, he said, that's what happened. He said, we were just with Satan and he deceived us and told us everything was going to be okay. And people forget these demons are evil. But you remember that demon that ran up on Jesus and he first started worshiping him? He worshiped him at first, because that's what they were used to. But you got to remember, they were the people that will go to hell. The Bible says Satan blinds the minds of those that don't believe. This is the same trick that he used on some of the angels. He deceived them. The same way that he tricked Adam and Eve. He deceived them. This dude is a master deceiver. These angels don't want to go to hell. They just believe Satan over God. And so,
because I always felt like, okay, so what if the demons change and they start doing good? Do they get forgiven too? What if they change? Can a demon change and become an angel over time? Is that a possibility?
well, fine, you got to go with him. Same thing with humans. You're going to believe him over me, then you go with him. It's the same thing, man. And it's just really, really crazy. There are some strange things in the Bible. And the problem is we've made the Bible religious. We've made it religious and not that this is another kingdom, a multi-dimensional kingdom that has real enemies outside the circumference of our intellectual understanding.
True.
And you're gonna have to drop your religious tolerance in order to embrace scripture.
Yeah.
That's just crazy in and of itself that you ask God a question and you sitting by the river for 21 days. Then all of a sudden an angel shows up and you go into a coma. This dude got to resurrect you from the dead just to give you a message. Yeah, dude, we heard you 21 days ago. We've been fighting a war to get to you. Do you realize? So if they had to fight a 21-day war to give him a message, what wars are being fought over our kids? Oh, when you don't believe in power. You don't believe in praying in tongues. Not understanding that language controls that realm and holds things in check. The Holy Spirit told me.
Yeah, I read the book of Enoch. Is it different books within the Ethiopian Bible? Because I think I started it, but I didn't finish.
He said, your church alone is covering 100 churches in Atlanta, and they don't even know it. Power. One can put 1,000. We quoted, one can put 1,000.
Like why though? Look. He said those that fail cannot be redeemed. I'm like going, why? Like that, they can't be forgiven. Is their status like so high as an angel that they seen more with God than what we seen? So they should just know. Like they can't just turn around and walk away from Satan and be like, "Hey, man, what am I doing?" Like they can't wake up and change their life and become better, become angels like us. Like, cause it seems like I always think as above, so below. If we can, you have people that be living their whole life just messed up. And then one day something happens and they just switch over and now all of a sudden they're a good person and they're forgiven. So it's like, why can't the angels be forgiven? Like, I mean, the demons, if they switch over and like basically start helping people instead of trying to destroy people, is that even a thing?
A flight. 10 can put 1,000 a flight. 2 can put 10,000 a flight. And there are mysterious things in Scripture. Don't you remember Paul? What did Paul say? He said, "Man, I got to the end of my destiny early."
Oh, I got to.
Remember him said that? He said, he said, "I got to the end of my road early." He said, "Now I'm trying to figure out if I should go to heaven, which is far better, or stay down here and help you."
Oh yes.
Yeah. We also think it's a coincidence that man said, "I pray in tongues more than all y'all." They don't even know what praying tongues is. They don't know that praying tongues is a form of time travel. It moves you faster toward the goal, or you stand still and it moves the goal faster towards you. But you wouldn't know that because you don't pray that way. You didn't believe in it. And it's a doctrine of the devil because Satan works to make sure that he has an advantage over you since you don't have power. Just do a little prayer. Won't he do it? And that's it. I remember one demon told me.
Hey, it's crazy because I'm like to that point to where I don't even pray no more because I feel like God, the creator, whatever you want to call him, already instilled everything in me for me to know right from wrong, for me even how to move. So it's like I feel like I'm asking for too much if I sit back and I pray. If I even pray for times to be better, I feel like I'm asking for too much because like if God knows your heart, then he already knows what you need. And he's gonna take care of you. It's gonna like that. It's gonna take care of you regardless. Like you just get doubtful in times. I think that's what we do. That's why we turn around and we pray because we get doubtful and we lose we lose this thing within ourselves that make it seem like God is not with us. And I think God is with everybody, no matter what.
Let's start with one of the most misunderstood words of all. Demon. The English word demon comes from the Greek word daemon. D-A-M-O-N. Originally, daemon did not mean evil spirit. In ancient Greece, a daemon was a spiritual being, a guiding intelligence, something between humans and the divine, humans and God. It could influence destiny. It could guide. It could distribute fate. The root of the word connects to
I'm gonna tell you, right? If you got a set belief, man, don't go and start doing research, because it's gonna show you that a lot of these words that these English words is just they faulty, bro. Like that's it, like the demon and the daemon and that whole thing right there, the etymology of it is just it's crazy. It make you go, wait, hold on, bro, why do I believe this?
Idea of to divide or to distribute.
Don't pray to God.
So
for
a
wisdom.
daemon was something that a lot of
He said, why would he give it to you? Because Jesus said it, bro. When Jesus walked, what did he say? He said, man, these acts I'm doing ain't nothing. Like they're nothing. Like if you believe you can do better than this right here. Like Jesus always said it. Everything was already there. It was already in you. You trying to like it was already there. If you search, you will find. It's just certain things that was said that showed you that it was already there. If God knew you within the womb of your mother before you even grew up and came out the womb and became this, if he knew you before the womb, the creator already knows. So like we become selfish because we become doubtful when you become doubtful and you don't believe that he already gave you this thing. That's when you go and you start praying for it. He already knows what you need. He knows that thing. Like God knows everything. He knew you was gonna come and pray for it and ask for it. Like I think what changed me is like when I got locked up, when I got in trouble and I got locked up, I never went back. But that time I prayed, I prayed, and I prayed, and I prayed, and I prayed. And I said, dang. I said, why am I praying while I'm in trouble? I'm praying for God to come and get me out of this trouble I put myself in. And I said, dang, that's kind of selfish of me because I put myself here when he gave me the power to get out of all these situations. It didn't matter what it was. The power was already there for me to go through anything. I was built to go through anything. He already gave that to me. So why would I doubt him and go and become prey like the animal, like, and go and pray for it? It's like, I don't know. That's just the way I think right now. I feel like it's already there. Wherever I need to be, I'm going to be there. It's nothing I need to pray for. There's nothing that I want on this planet right now. There's nothing that I need. There's nothing that I need to pray for. Life is going to be life, and I'm going to go through it because he gave me, the strength was already in me to go through it. Am I strong enough? I'm not saying that I'm doing without him. I'm not, because he already gave me the power, so I don't have to ask for the power because I already got it. He gave it to me. He gave it to everybody. And I don't know. That's just the way I look at it now. I don't know. It's weird, bro.
destiny. You know what I'm saying? Over time, Greek texts were
But I got to stop it right here, though. I got to go because I got to go help my son twist his dreads. I'm surprised that possum ain't ran across this thing, bro. It had me scared. I'm invading his territory. Oh, it ain't 10 yet. But no, I thank everybody for watching. Make sure you subscribe for more because, we're going to be running these lives every day. And as soon as, everything gets straight, I'll show y'all, like, I'll start opening up the Discord when we have, like, talks like this. So, like, we can come in and, like, different people can come in and we can talk about it. Because, I like talking, but I don't like talking about myself all the time. I feel like that's why I named my channel True Life Stories, because I feel like we all have a story. And sometimes we don't get to tell that story. Sometimes we sit back and we watch everybody else's story. This is why, I like to open it up so everybody else can basically come in and they can talk and, we can have conversations when we on topics like this. But I thank y'all for watching. I hope y'all have a blessed night no matter what. If you pray, stay prayed up. You feel me? Stay prayed up because God works for all of us. God is within all of us. God is for all of us, despite what? Rooting for all of us, and I can't wait till we get to that point to where we root for each other and we start loving each other more and treating each other better, bro. I ain't even gonna lie. It's gonna be a beautiful day when it actually